everybody, I'm Colin, and this might be one of the greatest supercars of the modern era. So behind me today is the McLaren 750S Spider, which, if you don't understand your McLarens, this is kind of the middle of the lineup. You have the Artura, which is the entry-level supercar. You have the McLaren GT, which is their grand touring car, and then you have this, the McLaren 750S. It is an absolutely stunning car to look at, but it does look a lot like a 720, and that would actually be because this is based on the 720. So to give a little bit of an explanation, 720 came out, and then they made the crazy version of that, the 765 LT, and then this is replacing, or it did replace, the 720. So this one is optioned to $410,000 or $415,000, which is a lot of money and a lot more than a 720. So one of the things I'm going to try and find out today is this worth the extra money over the 720, or should you save money and just buy the 720? But without further ado, let's get into it. So this car is finished in this beautiful gray metallic color. I'll put the name of the color up here on screen. And then you have the bright green accents on the car. For the exterior, it's just the brake calipers, but inside the car, it's black and bright green. So yeah, it's a pretty wild car. So this is powered by a 4-liter twin turbo V8. Flat plane crank. It makes 740 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty wild, which is also more than the 720S. Not quite as much as the 765, but it's pretty close. So the main thing is that, like I said, this replaces the 720 in the lineup, but it gets some of the 765 things. So it's less of an upgraded 720 and more of a whittled down 765. So one of the things that it gets is the mesh in the back over by the exhaust. And speaking of exhaust, it's lighter in this car, believe it or not, over the previous car. It also is a center exit at the top of the car, so more like the 765 than the 720. Like I said, it gets extra mesh in the back for cooling. That's another kind of 765-y thing that it gets. So yeah, let's go look at the interior. All right, so here we are inside of the 750S Spider, and I must say, I really do like this interior. So it's pretty basic, it's pretty simplistic, but that's the way that I like it. So in here, like I said, basic, driver focused. You just have a few buttons over by your screen for like your aerodynamics, your wing, and your launch control, stuff of that sort. And then you just have drive, neutral, reverse. And then below the screen, you have like your engine start stop button, your drive selectors and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty bare bones, it's pretty basic, but like I said, that is the way that I like it. It's perfect, it's driver centric, it's amazing. So another one of the things that is different over the 720 and the 765, which I don't know that I like quite as much just because it's not as cool, it doesn't flip down anymore. So rather than having like the individual switches and stuff over by the touchscreen, like the 765, the 720, it's all up on your screen here. It's just a little flip knob thing. I don't even know necessarily what to call it, but I'm just going to call them screen buttons for right now. Yeah, it is very nice, honestly. You don't have to really take your hand off the wheel, but overall, it's really good. That's just the one area that I think is cooler on the 720 and the 765. So yeah, the materials are quite nice in here. They're not quite as nice as that Aston Martin that I was just in, but you know, they work, I guess. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, it's really nice. This one is mainly Alcantara with just a little bit of leather here and there. Yeah, I think that I've mentioned this a lot now, but I like it a lot. So another interesting thing about this car is that because it's built on a carbon fiber tub chassis, it allows it to be lighter, and it also allows the convertible to not weigh that much more than the coupe. So you don't really lose a lot of structural rigidity. You don't have to engineer all that stuff in. You just put the drop top system in for the most part. So yeah.
Now that we're done going around the car, let's take it out for a ride. But first, please be sure to like and subscribe. are inside of the McLaren 750S Spider. Top down again so that you guys can hear me, but I was in it with the top down and it feels really nice. I really think that the Spider is really the way to buy these cars, especially since, like I was talking about earlier, it's got the carbon fiber tub chassis, so you don't actually lose any rigidity at all for the most part with the retractable hardtop, because you don't have all the structural stuff going over you, if that makes any sense at all. So, like I said, the way to buy this thing. And this car is the most ridiculous, insane car that I've probably experienced ever, other than maybe like the Lamborghini Countach, because it is ridiculously fast. It is honestly really dumb how fast this thing is. And that V8 back there sounds so good. Hear all sorts of sounds too, not just the engine and the exhaust. Another thing I want to touch on is that to make these cars more interesting, McLaren programmed it so that in sport mode and sport mode only, when you shift, the car will give you a little kick, and that's kind of engineered in through the spark plugs, which are programmed to cut out for a split second while shifting to give you that buck, to give you that kick, to give you that more interesting experience. So it's a really nice thing that McLaren did, because I don't think anybody else is doing that, and it really does feel like a hyper extreme sports car. And the car corners so incredibly well. It feels so balanced, it stays so flat 100% of the time. It is pretty impressive. You can accelerate in corners so well. Ridiculous on the downshifts. Oh man, just listen to it. Oh. Part of the really good handling is that it uses a hydraulic roll control setup called Proactive Chassis Control 3. It uses fluid linkages on all four corners of the car to independently control the body based on what is happening. Flow restrictors on each side of the car control how much fluid is going to each piston, which controls how the wheels react to the road. And it uses all of that instead of anti-roll bars. It also uses an electro-hydraulic steering system for more feel, more feedback, just to make this car feel that much better. The reason why it's electro-hydraulic is that the steering pump is hydraulic and the motor to control the pump is electronic, unlike a typical hydraulic system. So this car comes with carbon ceramic brakes standard, and they work incredibly well. The interesting thing is that I believe McLaren programmed the brake pedal to feel more like a steel rotor rather than a super grabby typical carbon ceramic. So over the 720S, this has softened the front springs by 3% and stiffened the rear springs by 4%. The wheels in the exhaust are lighter, as well as some other random weight-saving additions, which make it 77 pounds lighter than the 720S Spider. Now, an interesting thing is that the carbon fiber racing seats are standard in this car, and the reason McLaren did that was so that the standard curb weight appears to be lighter, and so that is why these less expensive to produce comfort seats are optional in this car. So now, for the conclusion, the McLaren 750S is by far one of the greatest supercars of our time. It feels so raw and untamed and really captures the spirit of older supercars without sacrificing performance at all. And to answer my question from the beginning of the video, yes, the 750 is absolutely worth the extra money over the 720. The best way to describe this car is more of a 765 Touring rather than an upgraded 720. It is so wild yet so well engineered that I truly believe that this car will be looked back on as one of the greatest. I would also like to extend a massive thank you to Victor at DeMitt Automotive Group in Tampa Bay, Florida, for allowing me to review this amazing car. I will put the link to the dealership in the description below, so if you're looking for your next supercar, please go check them out.